Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Business Talks. I am your host, Chawanne Burns. In today's episode, we are going to talk about Andrew Holmes. Andrew Holmes was fired from one of his nonprofit organization jobs. So we're going to discuss that. Also, we're going to talk about Mayor Eric Adams. He made some crazy, suggestions of how illegal immigrants can contribute and how they could find jobs in the United States of America. Okay. You're going to laugh on this one, but I guess he's trying to be creative. Okay. So we're going to talk about all of that today on another episode of Business Talks. Stay tuned.
Something like this. Looks a little bit like I can't miss. Hey, this is what you call a bap. What? This is what you call a bap. Looks a little something like this. Looks a little bit like I can't miss. Hey, this is what you call a bap. What? This is what you call a bap.
You guys put in the chat. Let me know where you're viewing from. Please put in the chat. Let me know where you are viewing from. Let's see who we have in the building. We have Prince Majestic 2.0. He's just Prince Majestic is informing us he was fired from the nonprofit organization. Yeah, that's what we're going to discuss today. Noble Young has been in the building. It's good to see you. Kennard the DJ. What's good, Chawanne? I see they hit the pervert with the pink slip. Yes. The pervert got a pink slip. He got peed on. That no point intended. Look, I'm here all week. Okay. Hello, everyone. Carolyn Cruz is in the building. King Pisces Nathan. Mr. Holmes needs to be fired from holding any kind of position, period. He can't be trusted. In Dalton anymore. He need to be in a 6x9 cell. That's the only position he deserves. I totally agree with you. You guys just put in chat. Let me know where you're viewing from. Stephen Nimley is in the building. Good afternoon to you. Carolyn Cruz from Boston, Massachusetts. Kennard the DJ, we know you're viewing from Chicago. Thank you for tuning in. King Pisces is viewing from Joliet. Okay, we're going to get started. Our first story, we're going to talk about Mayor Eric Adams. Okay, Eric Adams, he is a champion of asylum seekers. New York City is a safe haven for asylum seekers. Safe haven meaning if they do a crime. Remember that video I showed you? He's explaining if migrants, illegal aliens do crime in the city of Chicago, ICE cannot come in and take them away and deport them. No, they just let them out. Let them out on their own recognizance, and hopefully they will show up in court. Okay. So Eric Adams, he said his hands is tied on that type of situation, but he offers solutions for migrants to get a job. And this is one of the solutions because he claims migrants, illegal immigrants, they swim so well. They're excellent swimmers. This is what this man said. They're excellent swimmers. Okay, let me just share this story with you. Showing the screen.
Had a migrant and asylum seeker plan that states those jobs that we are in high demand, we could expedite. How do we have a large body of people that are in our city and country that are excellent swimmers, and at the same time we need lifeguards? And the only obstacle is that we won't give them the right to work to become a lifeguard. That just doesn't make sense. But if we had a plan that say you have a shortage of food service workers and those who fit the criteria, we're going to expedite you. If you have the experience that you are a nurse, which you have a nursing shortage, and we would expedite you. And that's the same with lifeguards. So we have all these eligible people waiting to work with the skills we need to fill the jobs, but we're unable to allow them to work because bureaucracy is in the way. That just does not make sense.
Do you agree with Eric Adams' sentiment? He's saying there's a shortage, nurses, lifeguards, whatever. He listed several of them. But let's get back on the lifeguards. My kids, they swim at the pool. They swim at this pool, and it's the community center pool. Who holds those lifeguard positions? Okay, I could see you drowning, so let me come in. But who actually holds those lifeguard positions? So now you're trying to take, not only you're trying to take the lifeguard positions, these are children that hold these positions, high school children, and some in college. So now you're trying to give the illegal immigrants the jobs of the children. This is totally, I'm laughing because it's totally insane. To me, it's insane. Who says we have it? Is there a lifeguard shortage in the U.S.? Is there actually lifeguard shortage in the U.S.? And who says they're excellent swimmers? Because not only that you have to be a lifeguard, there's certain things that you have to do. You got to pass a test, CPR test, all this other stuff. So you want to take now you're taking you're taking the jobs from adults. You want to take the jobs from children too. You guys put in chat. Now they're saying in some cities there's a shortage. This is back in June the 7th. Nationwide lifeguard shortage may cause hundreds of pools and beaches to close this summer. Who do we have? These kids, they're kids out on the street, not doing shit because you probably took the program away. Why can't you train the bodies that are in the U.S. to swim? And it's a lot of people that know how to swim and be properly trained for these lifeguard positions. Why can't you do it? What is wrong with training people in the United States of America? What is wrong with incentivizing people, American citizens, for these jobs? Nationwide lifeguard shortage may cause hundreds of pools and beaches to be closed this summer. Okay. Summer activities have started, which, why is it playing? Do you guys hear that?
I hope you see new things. I hope you feel new things. But most of all.
Okay, my bad. Which let me share this with you. Which for many people mean to trip to the beach or the local pool, but nationwide lifeguard shortage may limit the options for safe swim. And this was caused by the shortage because of the pandemic. Galveston, Texas, there are 115 lifeguards on staff, according to Long Beach Patrol. That number will ideally be closer to 155. The group said, but there isn't enough entrance in the job, and there hasn't been for the past few years. Okay, make it interesting. Make it interesting. We're experiencing a critical nationwide lifeguard shortage over 309,000 parks and pools. What kid don't want to go to the park and the pool? Hey, I live on the beach. I get paid to watch people swim, and I'm on the beach all day. Who doesn't want to do that? And I'm only in action when some action happens. Who doesn't want to do that? But no, America got to taint everything. What is wrong with Americans? Now you're claiming nobody wants to do an easy job. Nobody wants to do an easy job. Nobody wants to do it. Nobody wants to hang out on the beach all day and do nothing. And this is what I don't understand. I don't understand this phenomenon that every time we have a shortage, we're going to bring in illegal immigrants to fill it, instead of training up our own people to do it. Incentivize it. Like I said, kids, they probably would love to have these jobs. Every time we go to swim camp, my kids, we paid to teach them how to swim. There's no adults there. There's an adult over the program, but it's kids teaching other kids how to swim, and they're getting paid. These are high school students. So you're telling me just Macomb, Michigan, and Sterling Heights, Michigan, and Warren, Michigan, only those suburb cities, they have kids to that want to be lifeguards? I don't believe it. I just don't believe it. I think it's a bunch of BS. Okay. So Eric Adams saying we're going to put illegal immigrants in to swim, or to watch over people as lifeguards. And probably they can't speak English. That's a language barrier. And it's no shade. But if you can't speak English and somebody say, hey, do you know the word help? Hey, help in English. I mean, you guys might think like, Chawanne, if somebody's going like this, they want something, right? But you never know. That's a language barrier. And I'm laughing about it, but this is serious. You don't understand help, but you want to be a lifeguard. You see what I'm saying? Where you could go down this slippery slope of, hey, he didn't understand. Then you got a lawsuit. Oh, he didn't understand. I was trying to get his attention. He didn't understand, hey, you got to walk down a mile that way, or he's in the water. He didn't understand that. So the kid or whoever drowned. He doesn't understand. I can't swim, but my kid is in the water, and he doesn't understand that, or she. I just don't understand this. I really don't understand Mayor Eric Adams, and it just doesn't make any sense to me. You're telling me, and you're telling me we got a shortage. We don't got nobody interested in the job. We should make it mandatory. Not mandatory to work, because some people but literally, if you if you receive any type of aid, mandatory. I know in some states they make it mandatory for you to look for a job and pick up a skill set. Stop depending on the government. Truancy teachers, or we had truancy officers back then. We don't even know if some of these kids are going to school. That's probably halfway they don't want to do shit, because we don't have truancy officers no more. And if your kids didn't come to school and the truancy officer showed up, you would get in trouble. The parents actually get in trouble. But we don't have that no more because America, I mean, for some reason, we just ruined the whole American dream. And then we got people, we're ushering in, the government is ushering in illegal immigrants to take hold of that American dream. That American dream you was once promised. This doesn't make any sense. Do they understand English? Risk my life on that. Exactly. They don't understand English. Only thing I remember, I went to Mexico a long time ago, and I studied 3 years of Spanish, and I spoke broken Spanish, so I was able to. We were lost. We rented a moped, and we was lost, and I was able to ask the people, "Hey, how do I get back to the dock?" Because we went on a cruise, but the problem is I only knew La Playa, which is the beach. And then I forgot what else I said, but I was trying to get back to La Bote. La Bote. I don't know. But the problem is if you don't understand, there's going to be a language barrier, and then it's going to take time. It took them 10 to 20 minutes to explain to me how to get back to the boat. With lifeguard, you don't got 10 to 20 minutes. I need help. That person is in the water over there. Or I need help. My child came out of the water and he's choking. He can't breathe or whatever. I need CPR, but you can't understand English. King Pisces, Nathan, I know people in New York is not that illiterate. What is the mayor talking about? A dude sound like Donald Trump. Unfit. No, he don't sound nothing like Donald Trump to me. He sound like Kathy Hochul. Kathy Hochul, just the governor of New York. She just claimed that the black kids in the Bronx don't even know what computers are. I wouldn't have been so offended if she would have said black kids in the Bronx don't have computers. But you're going to just say they don't know what a computer is. Like computers were just founded or just invented. And like we're living in 1970s or some shit. Come on now. Barbara, they just want to be able to let them to vote. Yeah, that's basically is it. Not at all. Pink and Mimi and Pink. Sheriff on YouTube now Americans' rights are red tape. Bend over, local jobs. Barbara said, "Hey King, how are you comparing to Mayor to Trump?" I don't think it's a comparison. You sound crazy. The federal government imports foreign workers for jobs that should go to Americans. The federal government is effing up the country. They're effing up the country with the spending, and they're also effing up the country with ushering in these illegal immigrants. And people are saying, I used to be one of those folks. I used to say the same thing. Oh, it ain't that. You can't. They're not trying to take our jobs. You want to pick vegetables? That I used to be one of those ignorant people to say these things. But then I had to start thinking about it. Picking vegetables, swimming, registered nursing, IT jobs, all these jobs, you're trying to act like people are not able to gain knowledge. Now, if you're saying we don't have enough people or skilled people to do these jobs, that's one thing. It's still your fault because you've lacked, like literally over the last 10 to 12 years, the kids that was in first grade to now, We're seeing the results from that. That No Child Left Behind Act, we're seeing those results in the effects of No Child Left Behind, and I forgot what the other bill that was passed. These kids were all left behind, and they're still continuing to try to enforce this failed experiment. You have major cities where kids cannot pass basic reading tests in their grade level, basic math tests in their grade level. This is not advanced knowledge or anything like that. We're talking about 8th grade reading level. So if we have a shortage of skilled trade workers or whatever, it's because we failed them. The government allowed, and I'm talking about the state government, allowed the public school system to fail these kids. And that's why they can't read. That's why they don't have any gumption to say, oh, I want to do this. I want to be a scientist. I want to do, go into IT. That's why those fields or the people are shrinking. The pool is shrinking because of our public school systems. That's the only reason why. You guys put it in the chat. Let me know. What is the other reason? Reason why our kids are lazy is because we made them lazy. And then we're the ones that are going to be looking at 15, 20 years from now, especially the federal government, 15, 20 years from now, and we're going to ask where all the good leaders are at. We didn't produce any. Why is American gross domestic product value has decreased significantly? Because we're bringing foreign agents in, and we're pushing all American countries' companies out. Even with the tax, the taxes that Joe Biden and Donald Trump imposed, the tariff taxes. Even with that, you can't say I'm going to tariff the taxes, and I'm going off on a tangent, you guys, but this doesn't even make any sense. I'm going to impose tariff on imported goods or any type of goods that are associated with these things, but then I'm going to increase the corporate taxes on people that makes those goods in the U.S., United States. Does that make any effing sense? Does it make any sense? Does that make any sense? If you want to champion American companies, you're not going to impose high taxes on them. You're going to say, hey, we're incentivizing you to stay in America because we believe American is the way. We want our goods. We want to consume our own goods that's made in America. But government, they want to spend excessively and then raise your taxes excessively and then point at you and look at the rich. You see what they're doing? They make all that money. We need to impose more taxes on them. Look at that impose more corporate taxes on it. I think it's all a bunch of BS. No, control your spending, government. Anyway, James Mech, your man on. Good afternoon to you. The migrants are cheaper. Yeah. Bend over says swim at your own risk. Swim at your own risk. Swim at your own risk. That's basically what is. They need to put a sign out. Swim at your own risk. It doesn't make no sense. I think we need an overhaul on the government. I know people was giving a lot of shit from Vivek Ramaswamy. He had the right idea. They need to dismantle the FBI. They need to dismantle literally the federal government. The federal government needs to be dismantled because they don't have any clue. How I saw a post the other day. How can a country in the $30 trillion deficit give you a credit score? You're going to give me a credit score and you got all this debt. It don't even make no sense. You're the beholder of the credit score or the facilitator of the credit score, and you can't even control your own spending. And every time something comes up, you want to say, oh, I want to increase the taxes. And then you blame it on the wealthy, which is not going to solve any problem. You could tax the ultra wealthy as much as you want. It will not solve the government spending problem. The problem is government spending. They need to stop it. Data Young, the migrants are not cheaper. You're paying for the housing, food, healthcare. How is that cheaper than paying someone a reasonable salary for their job? That's a good point. Yeah, that is a good point. So you guys put in the chat, let me know what you think about that. Okay, we're going to talk about Andrew Holmes. Andrew Holmes, he was fired from his local activist job, the Chicago survivors over assault allegations. Okay, we terminated his employment in April upon learning of the serious allegations. This is Chicago 5.
Chicago activist known for his work at crime scenes and helping grieving families. But now Andrew Holmes is out of a job. The nonprofit he worked for says he's been terminated amid a lawsuit and allegations that he assaulted a former co-worker. Holmes also serves as a trustee in the village of Dalton. NBC5's Regina Waldrop with tonight's story.
We in the most dangerous areas at the most dangerous time at night.
His name, his face, synonymous with the fight against Chicago violence.
We are just concerned about the child right about now.
On TV screens and in newspapers, Andrew Holmes stood with families during their most difficult times. He met with dignitaries, received countless awards for his work as a crisis responder. But in the wake of allegations against him, now the group he worked for, Chicago Survivors, says Andrew's been terminated. A statement to NBC5 reads, "Our mission is to provide crime victim services to family members of homicide victims, so our relationship with those families and our community is paramount. Without compromise, there needs to be strong mutual trust and an assumed high level of safety for the adults and children we serve. For those reasons, we terminated his employment in April upon learning of the serious allegations."
I'm fighting for every woman.
Holmes also serves as an elected trustee in the village of Dalton. He's being sued by Fania Dukes, Mayor Tiffany Henyard's ex-assistant. Dukes filed this civil lawsuit against Henyard and Holmes. She accuses him of assaulting her. Dukes issued this statement last week describing the lawsuit's allegations.
Until my last memory was me waking up in his room.
In this video, she details what she says happened before and after an incident that allegedly occurred almost a year ago during a taxpayer-paid economic development trip to Las Vegas. On that trip, Henyard, a handful of Village and Thornton Township reps, and trustee Holmes. According to the lawsuit, after dinner and walking the Las Vegas Strip with Holmes, Dukes felt disoriented and ultimately blacked out. Holmes has not responded to our repeated requests for a comment. Mary Avant is a retired Chicago police officer. She says the allegations are serious and Chicago survivors did the right thing.
I think it's a little bit of being careful because they have to be concerned about themselves and the look it gives them.
And many residents and also some trustees are calling on Andrew Holmes to step down from the village board. Reporting from Dalton, I'm Regina Waldrop, NBC5 News.
Okay, so that's the story of Andrew Holmes. You guys, are we surprised? Okay, so he was fired from the Chicago's survivor nonprofit organization. He does work for Chicago Transit System. I don't know if he was fired for that job. You guys let me know, put in the chat. But I think they can get rid of him for the trustee position because you could put in, and I don't know if they have an ordinance like they just did with Mayor Mayor Tiffany Henyard. You think they will be able to put in something for him not being able to fulfill his duties? You guys put in the chat. Let me know what you think. They put a pro temp for Mayor Tiffany Henyard just this last special board meeting because they claimed that Tiffany Henyard is not able to fulfill her duties. Why can't you do that the same for Andrew Holmes? Even look, duty abandonment. He has not been fulfilling his duties for the last 2 months. Pull up, and I'm pretty sure there's some type of ordinance in the system where they could say, hey, Andrew Holmes has not been in attendance in all these meetings. We voted on several things. We need to put in job abandonment or trustee board abandonment and put in somebody temporary so they could fulfill those positions and not appointed by Tiffany Henyard, appointed by the board of trustees. Why can't they do that? You know he's not going to never show up. So they should be able to do that. Andrew Holmes, they said he had another victim. That's what Jedediah is saying. Jedediah is saying that there was another victim of Andrew Holmes back when she was at prom. And all she could remember, let me just see if I could pull it up on here. Oh, no, I don't want to do that. All she could remember is that she woke up in his basement at the prom. This is the text. It says, and I don't know where this is on Jedediah's page, so I don't know who is giving him this information, but this is a text that he put on the screen. Okay. It says, hey, Jedediah, Andrew Holmes has another victim. His very first victim back in March 27, 1984. She was 16 years old. Jedediah responded, is there any name or proof? She doesn't want to reveal her identity, but they went to school together. The school's name was Cosmopolitan Prep downtown Chicago. They graduated on March the 27th, 1984. She became Andrew's victim that night. She is my best friend. I pray one day she will be able to speak up. It's nothing I could do with it if she doesn't. He's been getting away with it for a long time, then up until now, where one was finally willing to face him. She see how everybody is attacking the victim now. She don't want to come after her and family. So basically, she didn't want no one attacking her. Jedediah responds, understand. It would only give her credibility to fight, though. So I don't know. It skipped he unsent message. He didn't send a message, but it goes down and says it doesn't reveal any identities if not I want. But this is at least lets me fight with the possibility that it may be 15th. Are we saying 15th victim? I'm going to read it again. It doesn't reveal any identities. If not, I won't. I'm not for sure what he's saying right there. But this at least lets me fight with the possibility that it may be a 15th. That's the best I could do, and it will help the only survivor who found courage to stay encouraged. Yes, you can reveal the message. I'm assuming that he said, "Can I reveal this message?" And Jedediah is saying, "Yeah, this is the 15th person that came to me saying I'm a victim of Jedediah." And so, yes, you can reveal the message. He would know the date that he did that to her. That's the night they graduated. And she says one more thing. They were supposed to have been going to the graduation party that night, March the 27th, 1984. And he said he was going to stop by the store and get some drinks. And the next thing she was at his grandmother's in the basement. He's fucking disgusting. A lot of people say, why don't they call the police at the time of the assault? You got to realize these are young Black women. They probably don't feel like they have anything. If you woke up and be like, okay, I don't know what happened, what do you have? Especially back in 1984. Now, today, if you wake up and say, hey, something is wrong, I know something's not right, you can go and get a rape test kit. Back in 1984, that didn't even exist. I'm pretty sure they had DNA testing to see if you was actually assaulted. But as far as actual DNA testing, actual DNA testing, they didn't have that. They didn't have the technology. And like I said, these are young Black women. Sometimes you think, who's going to believe me? Especially if you have a person like Andrew Holmes. Everyone knows and loves him. He's the activist. Back then, he wasn't an activist, but I'm assuming he was a good student. Everybody knew and loved him. So he's been what do you call it? He's been Bill Cosby and people. That's what he's been doing. He's been using GHB since 1984. It's nothing more I can say about that. I think he's disgusting. I think they need to throw the book at his ass. I think they need to throw the book at him. You know, These are all the text messages. You know, and so, and I can't. It's nothing more that I could say about Andrew Holmes. He shouldn't be elected official. He shouldn't be at no special victim nonprofit organization. You shouldn't be, because you're just a wolf in sheep clothing, preying on people. That's basically what you're doing. You prey on people. And for them, Jedediah to reveal, I guess people are sending him information like, yeah, and he reveals this is probably the 15th victim. So you've been doing this for a long time. The 15th victim that we know about. Remember, I shared with you that text that the lady sent to me. Her friend is saying one of the Jedediah's granddaughters or daughter is being assaulted. I asked her, did they notify the police or notify the school? And she said she didn't know if they did. Ladies and gentlemen, if you get privy to the information that someone's being physically abused, it's your duty and your responsibility to notify the proper authorities. If they're children. Now, if they're adults, that's on them. But if they're children, notify the authorities. I'm telling you, notify the authorities. Let the authorities sort it out. But if someone's telling you, yeah, and stop, and this is wrong with people and sometimes Black folks, I can't just say it's just Black people that does this, but Black folks get a hold of information and you don't do nothing about it. That's why a lot of times crimes and things get unsolved in our community, because we're just sitting on the information and we're gossiping about it, but you're not going to the proper authorities to actually do something about it. When I had people from another city contacting me to talk about their city corruption. I don't live in the city. What have you done to curtail the corruption? Have you notified, if you got substantial evidence or tangible evidence, have you notified the FBI? Because I could just sit here and talk about it, send in my information to the FBI, and that's what I usually do. I'll send the information to the FBI, but it doesn't affect me because I'm not in that city. So notify. If you have information about this, don't just sit on your hands like, "Ooh, girl, you know my son is friends with his granddaughter, and his granddaughter said this and this and this." And you gossiping about it, but you have not done anything to help that kid. You're just as worse as Andrew Holmes. I'm sorry. I put you in the bucket as Andrew Holmes, because you aiding and abetting a criminal. That's my whole take on it. We got to save the children, okay? Grown folks, not necessarily, but children, when you get children involved, you need to say something. Anyhow, I know that was a short live stream. You guys, you need to follow me on this channel. Like, subscribe, and share this YouTube. Follow me on this channel. You know what? I did have another story I want to share with you. I don't know if you guys are Let me just pull up this channel real quick. Follow this channel, you guys. This is my political channel. Okay, we stream every day. Stream every day between 1:30 and 2:30. Okay. Last thing is just a quick little something I wanted to share with you guys. Walmart is closing some more stores. Matter of fact, they decided to close, I believe, 50 more stores. And they're laying off hundreds of people. Walmart lays off hundreds of people and employees to requires others to relocate. Okay. This is a Walmart in Arkansas, in some other areas. They're saying it's also said it will require most remote workers and personnel in its Dallas, Atlanta, and Toronto office to relocate to their primary offices in Arkansas. Who want to move to Arkansas? Look, you living in Dallas, a great place to live, by the way. And Atlanta, I don't know how great it is in Atlanta, but I'm pretty sure they have some parts that in Atlanta are great. But if you're a city person, you want to live in Atlanta or Dallas. Dallas, I think they got about 300,000 people. So it's not that large, but it is a city. And Toronto, a city like Toronto, I don't know how many people they got in Toronto, but it's a fairly large city. And then they say they want you to relocate to Bentonville, Arkansas. We want you to Bentonville, Arkansas. They put Hoboken, New Jersey. Hoboken, if you ever been to Hoboken, not a great place to go. And San Francisco. Really? You want me to move to San Francisco? Now, if you would have said this maybe 10, 15 years ago, you'd probably be like, oh yeah, I'll go to San Fran. But now, do you want to go to San Fran? So anyway, this news was conveyed by a memo that they sent to the staff about the relocation and closing the stores. They're shutting down 50 of their telehealth services and closing over 50 health clinics. You know how you go in Walmart and get shots and stuff like that? You can't do that no more in some of the locations. The locations that they're closing, they're auctioning off. Let me see if I can find it. They're planning to auction off some of their goods. Here it is. Walmart store in major city auctions off flat screen TVs, laptops, and more ahead of closing. A high bid for a laptop was just 12 days before the auction ended. $12 was just $12 before the auction ended. And it's a Graph auction site. So you guys looking for some good finds, go to Graph auction site. And they're conducting an auction. The buyers will be required to shell out 18% online premium and a 7.5% sale tax. So you got to weigh your options. Are you going to get you paying 25%? So if you buy a computer, I guess it's not bad. If you bought a computer or laptop for $12, 25% of $12 is $15. I guess that's not bad. I guess that I can't say that's a bad deal. But it does get pretty expensive, as the price increase. And it's saying 55-inch flat screen monitors were listed for just $85 to $100. So in South Columbus, they're closing 8 locations and 20 more, or no. Walmart announced in April that it would close 51 health center and shut down its entire health division. That's crazy. But they're planning to they said it will build up or upsize over 150 stores over the next 5 years. And they're expecting to do 14 new locations. So they're closing down all their underperforming locations. I don't know if you guys seen, this is probably one of my most viewed videos of Walmart. And it's called half of Walmart stores closed in Chicago, and guess who mad? Remember they were protesting. This is one of my most viewed videos on this channel. It got almost 600,000 views. So what I was getting at, Walmart is closing all their underperforming locations, and then they're going to open up in the areas or beef up the stores in the areas where they're not stealing. Okay. Walmart is in it to make a profit. They don't want to open up. You know, that George Floyd whole wave saying, oh, we want to build equity in the community and equitable and diversity and inclusion. Walmart ain't about that life. They like F diversity, F inclusion, F equitable, or equality. They don't care. They want to make a damn profit. So I don't care. I don't blame Walmart to taking a stand and closing down their stores with all these people stealing in their area. So they closing down all those stores. Okay. That's basically what Walmart is doing. They're closing down these underperforming stores and people that are stealing from them. Okay, so you guys, I know I said that was it for today, but it is actually it for today. So I really appreciate every single last one of you guys. Remember, oh, thank you, Advocacy, CIU, great content. Keep up the great work. Thank you so much for the super chat. I really appreciate you. And yeah, you guys can always support the channel. If you don't want to super chat me, you could cash at me. I appreciate all my moderators. You guys, I know you come in day out. I really appreciate you for helping me keeping the channel going and moderating the content. And I appreciate you guys for viewing. Okay. Remember to share, like, and subscribe to this channel. And I am sending all my good to you. I will talk to you soon.